In the height of the space race during the Cold War, an unsettling thought echoed through the corridors of power. What if we could push the boundaries of human potential even further, leaving aside the moral dilemmas and ethical quandaries? This unnerving query marked the genesis of Project Orion, a shrouded US military venture whose true depths remain to this day. Officially designated as a propulsion project, Orion's clandestine ambitions reached far beyond the realm of conventional science. It delved into the uncharted territories of the human psyche, exploring the potential of children as the next generation of space pioneers. But why children? And what did they do in space? Brace yourself for a journey into the darkest corners of history. Welcome to our channel, where today we unveil the spine-chilling tale of Project Orion, the secret child space program. As the 20th century dawned, humanity stood on the precipice of a new era. The stars were no longer distant twinkling lights, but beckoning promises of adventure and discovery. On October 4th, 1957, the Soviet Union's successful launch of Sputnik 1 shattered the tranquility of this optimism. It was a wake-up call for the United States. The space age had begun, and the Americans were determined not to be left behind. Thus commenced the space race, a relentless competition that propelled both nations into uncharted territories. But as with any intense competition, there were strategies that were kept hidden, advantages that were meticulously concealed. This was the birth of Project Orion. As the name suggested, it was a project about propulsion, specifically about harnessing the power of nuclear fusion to propel spacecraft at unprecedented speeds. But while the official narrative focused on propulsion, whispers circulated about a more sinister purpose, a classified agenda known only to a select few. Delving into the heart of the matter, let's address the elephant in the room, or should I say the child in the spacesuit? Why children? Why would a space program, even a top-secret military one, involve children? What advantage did they offer over trained adult astronauts? According to declassified CIA memos, Project Orion's primary objective was to investigate enhanced cognition in youth subjects. But it didn't stop there. The project also aimed to understand the effects of advanced gravity training, isolation chambers, and telepathy enhancement protocols on these young subjects. In essence, they were testing the limits of the human body and mind, pushing them to adapt and evolve in ways never seen before. Allegedly modeled after the controversial Cold War psychic experiments, such as Project Stargate, these protocols were designed to unlock the latent potential of the human brain, particularly in children who were believed to have a higher capacity for mental manipulation. Some speculate that the innocence of childhood, devoid of societal conditioning, made these individuals more susceptible to subtle mental nudges, allowing the government to guide their thoughts and actions with greater precision. It's a chilling thought, isn't it? The idea of the government experimenting with the minds of children, bending their thoughts to its will. But in the murky depths of the Cold War, anything was possible in the name of national security and progress. While the program's intentions might have been noble in theory, the methods employed were anything but. The selected children, many of whom were gifted, resilient, and unfortunately orphaned, were essentially taken from their families and placed in a highly controlled environment. Here, under the guise of scientific research, they were subjected to rigorous physical and psychological tests. Imagine being a child, living a normal life, going to school, playing with friends, and then one day being whisked away from everything familiar, never to return. That was the reality for these children. Their lives were put on hold, sacrificed at the altar of national interest. The training itself was no less traumatic. It involved simulations of extreme space conditions, zero gravity, cosmic radiation, and extended periods of isolation. All of this was designed to test the human endurance and to identify the optimal psychological profile for space travel. But the most disturbing aspect of this training was the telepathy enhancement protocol. This classified procedure remains shrouded in secrecy, but rumors suggest that it involved rudimentary brain-computer interface technology. Today, such technology is confined to the realms of science fiction. Tomorrow, it might be a reality, but during the Cold War, it was cutting-edge research. By the mid-1960s, Project Orion had progressed to a point where the stakes were higher than ever. The United States was preparing to launch its first manned mission to the moon, and the culmination of Project Orion's research was put to the ultimate test. Allegedly, in 1974, Project Orion launched its first covert lunar mission, a top-secret operation that sent shockwaves through the corridors of time. At the heart of this audacious mission were the children. Yes, children. But how could this be? How could they withstand the rigors of space travel? The answer lies in the very essence of Project Orion's research. Through years of intensive training and conditioning, these children were transformed into resilient young adults capable of withstanding the extreme conditions of space. Their mission was multifaceted. First and foremost, it was about deep moon mining exploration. The astronauts were tasked with locating and exploring underground lunar formations. But this was not your typical space exploration. These mines were believed to hold remnants of ancient civilizations, structures left behind eons ago. But who were these ancient visitors, and what did they leave behind? This is where things get really interesting. The second aspect of the mission was contact protocol. The astronauts were trained to make first contact with potential extraterrestrial life forms. But what makes this particular aspect of the mission so intriguing is the secrecy surrounding it. No one knows what these protocols entailed, what messages they conveyed, or what responses they elicited. There are rumors of recovered artifacts, perhaps communications devices left behind by the ancient astronauts. The implications of such a discovery would be monumental, shattering our understanding of human history and our place in the cosmos. Yet such discoveries are best kept under wraps, away from the prying eyes of the world. However, the shocking revelation doesn't end there. Leaked blurry photos from the mission show humanoid ruins on the moon, structures that seem to defy NASA's official stance on the lack of life on our closest celestial neighbor. These images, though grainy and open to interpretation, raise more questions than they answer. Are these structures evidence of a past civilization? Or are they mere figments of the astronauts' imagination? Did Project Orion's telepathy protocols lead them to perceive things that weren't really there? As the years passed, the story of Project Orion began to take shape in the public consciousness. Whispers turned into rumors, rumors into full-blown conspiracies. Was there really a secret space program involving children? Did they explore the dark side of the moon? Did they uncover evidence of ancient life? The answers, for the most part, remain elusive. In 2014, a woman named Sarah D. came forward claiming to be one of the child astronauts. Her story, if true, is nothing short of remarkable. According to her, the year was 1975, and she was part of a 6-member crew. They trained in a remote location, cut off from the outside world. The mission was top secret, the likes of which the world had never seen. One day, they were informed that they were to launch immediately to the moon. They boarded the spacecraft, a strange metallic capsule with no markings except for a series of numbers. As the craft hurtled towards the moon, they encountered turbulence unlike any they had experienced before. But they persevered, guided by a sense of duty and a thirst for discovery. Upon reaching the moon, they began their exploration. Sarah recalls seeing strange structures, remnants of a civilization long gone. She saw tunnels, some artificial caves, and even what looked like a city in the distance. But the most profound moment of the mission came when they made contact. Sarah describes it as an overwhelming feeling of interconnectedness. They communicated not through words, but through emotions, through feelings. It was a profound experience that left an indelible mark on their souls. However, their joy was short-lived. Soon, they received an order to return home. They had accomplished their mission. They had explored the moon's surface and made contact. But the knowledge they had gained was too much for the world to handle. It would shatter the very fabric of society as we know it. Back on Earth, they were debriefed and given strict orders to keep everything classified. They were offered a choice, a chance to continue living their lives while protecting the secrets of the universe, or to reveal the truth and risk everything. They chose secrecy, burying their experiences deep within them. Over the years, Sarah has had moments of clarity, flashes of memories that have haunted her dreams. She has spent her life searching for answers, trying to piece together the fragments of her extraordinary journey. Finally, she feels that she is ready to share her story, to let the world know that the moon is not the barren, lifeless rock that we believe it to be. It is a place of wonder, a testament to the enduring spirit of humanity, and a symbol of the boundless mysteries that lie ahead. But what do you think? Is Project Orion nothing but a figment of overactive imaginations? Or are the children really out there, silently guarding the secrets of the cosmos? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more captivating tales from history's hidden archives.